Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about something I'm seeing a lot more of, and I've recently sort of had personal experience with it, and that is Western politicians. They're all globalist controlled, of course, but the Western politicians talking about equity in starting up and giving taxpayer-funded loans and subsidies to minority businesses. So if you're the proverbial black lesbian, you're going to go to the front of the queue for being given a loan, and in some cases a loan that has no strings attached, where most of it has no strings attached, to set up a business. Now, the people that staff the government departments that dole out and hand out this money, they are radical ideologues in themselves. So you won't be able to go to someone and get business advice, or someone's going to look at it and go, well, hey, Shaniqua, this business idea, appreciate you coming in, but this hasn't got a hope of working out. So why don't you go and do something? Or I've noticed, Shaniqua or Shalele, that in the last jobs you've had, you haven't turned up for work for 100 days straight. So, looking at the person and the business proposal and its chances of success before you hand over the taxpayers' money. Well, that's not happening. Two things are clearly occurring: is the money is being handed out on strictly ideological lines. You're a minority person, you want to get some free money from the taxpayer, done, you've got it, baby, it's yours. And then they are given a business consultant to assist them with the business, but they've also got ideological fanaticism running through that the business advisor has to be, and if you're a black lesbian, the business advisor has to be a black lesbian. If you're a black gay guy, it has to be a black gay guy as your business advisor, and so on. So there's no effort to say, well, look, Shaniqua, you've really got no idea about business. Ideologically, we'll give you the money, but we're going to have to put, really sort of experienced business advisor with you to assist you to be successful. We want you to be successful, but that doesn't appear to be the objective here. The objective appears to be just to throw money at minority groups or minority people who really have no chance of making a success of the business. And given that the money is typically just written off, even large loans. We came across a guy recently who, he's brown rather than black, and he classified minority status because he came from a single mother household. Apparently, that's minority status now. You wouldn't think that would be, and his mother didn't speak English as a first language. So that qualifies him, and he's half. You wouldn't know. He looks a bit swarthy, but that's all. You wouldn't say anything more than that. But he qualified for a $2.5 million loan, and of that, he's not on the hook. He's only on the hook for like 15% of it. So if everything goes to pieces, he only has to find 15% of that total. So now, given that a lot of that money is going into buying equipment which can be resold, even if the whole thing is a devastating disaster, he still isn't on the hook for more than $300,000 or $400,000 out of $2.5 million. A straight white guy couldn't get that, but he can get. He's straight as far as I know. Now. The interesting thing is the argument that he put forward is he already had a successful business. That's kind of partly true, because he got a decent-sized easy money contract from another government department or instrumentality, where they also were looking for affirmative action. You had to be non-white, and so he got all that business. Now, to his credit, he didn't fuck it all up. He's managed to make a go of it, but only in so far as he gets government money handed to him, as in the government is his only client. So he's never had to go out and sort of win business out in the market by having the best products or the best service or the best price or whatever. Now, Yeah, we met him just recently through another outfit that was dealing with him, and we were we were quite surprised that he's not a complete moron, but he's well and far short of the expertise needed to make a go of what he's doing. And we tried to sort of explain some things to him, but his eyes just glazed over, and he had no idea what's being talked. We did manage to talk him into hiring uh, like a sort of a general manager type sort of guy to help somebody we knew who had pretty solid business expertise also in that area that he was at least he agreed to do that. And he did hire the guy. We made nothing out of that. It was just we thought that it's more important this guy succeeds and the business succeeds than it fails. So you know, that all came to pieces in a few weeks, and we asked him, what was the problem? Oh, I don't know. The guy, he was really experienced. He just made me feel like an idiot, and I just didn't like that feeling. So I thought I'd get rid of him. He go, well, what are you going to do for business as well? Oh, I don't know. I'll manage somehow. And he shrugged his shoulders and walked. I guess he's probably got a 50-50 shot at succeeding. Again, he's not a total moron. He's just well short of what he needs to make a go. But the point is he was given a lot of taxpayer money, and he's not on the hook for all of it as a straight white guy. So not only do you go to the front of the queue because he can claim minority status, but also he's not liable for the money that has been handed over to him. Now, those two things are pretty critical. His business, the business idea he's got, or the thing that does, if he can get it together, it's got real possibilities. But I don't think that he's going to make it personally. But anyway, that's it. Now, there's been a number of. I went to a trade show not that long ago, and there was a number of businesses there that are just being funded because the minority, the gay, black, lesbian, female. You've got to be a minority. You've got to tick at least a couple of boxes. A white lesbian, or you've got to be black and female, or you've got to be black and gay, and so you have to tick a couple of the serious victim Olympics type boxes to get the money. Now, the money that they're handing over isn't vast, but they're not asking for much. The business plans that these people have got and the business ideas and so on. It seems to be just enough that they front up and ask for the money. That's about the only, other than their victim status, that's about the only qualification. There's no checking on business success or anything like that. In some cases, they'll get a government loan or taxpayer loan, and then also the government will agree to buy. As one outfit was making health foods, or a few gay guys got together. One of them was brown, and got together to do this health food thing. And so they won. Well, not won. They were gifted a government purchasing agreement. So they technically had or superficially had a successful business. In reality, they didn't. They just had a cozy government contract and a cozy government loan. That's all they had. If they had to go out and compete with quality product, then they wouldn't have got anywhere. Now, again, they're the business advisors that are the business advisor, maybe more than one, but the one we came across again was only picked because he was a gay guy. He'd never been in business. He had no business expertise, and he bought one of those books of how to run a successful business for dummies, or how to be a business expert in 5 minutes, or that sort of stuff. That was all he had, and he was the guy. Now he's well connected into government, so the government then gave this business another loan just specifically to pay their gay business advisor buddy. So there's a lot of corruption and a lot of feather bedding and cronyism. Cronyism is rampant around it. Cronyism in this sort of area. Now there's another one that this is where we came sort of head on or direct into it. We were bidding for some business in like a Quango type operation, and we thought we had it nailed, and it was technically a very complicated project, and we thought we had it absolutely nailed. And there's not many outfits in town that can handle that level of technical complexity. So, just on that alone, we know who the other players are. None of them were bidding on this. We were the only one. So we thought that we'd have it. When it goes through various stages, and the stage where you're meant to do a technical presentation in front of the engineers and the heavyweight technical dudes in the Quango, that can at times be pretty exacting. But we're heavyweight players in that sort of section of in that space. So we thought we'd just romp home on this, but we weren't even invited to do the presentation, which took us quite by surprise. But we've sort of taken a broad view. You win some, you lose some. Okay, fine. And, we've got other work to get on with. Concentrate on that and forget about it. Anyway, some weeks go by, and then we get a call from an outfit we've never heard of, and they say, look, we've got this technical stuff that we need help with, and it's what sort of stuff? Well, it's like ABC and yada yada yada. And I went, wow, that sounds exactly like this business that we missed out on. So we went back to and through like freedom of information type thing, you can see who bids and who was the winning bid and that sort of stuff. And we found it was them. So turns out it's a brown woman and her brown, I don't know what he is, husband, boyfriend, brother or something, I don't know, but a brown woman and a brown guy. And she speaks English quite well, him not so much. But the thing that sort of threw us was she had absolutely zero expertise, technical expertise in the field. In fact, not even any supporting expertise. Now, a few little bits at the beginning are sort of anyone can do, but the 95% of it is quite heavy technical shit. So we didn't, again, how could she possibly have got through any stage of this bidding process, and how could she have got through the technical where you've got to explain, technically how you're going to do it to the technicians and the engineers on the other side? There's just no way she could have got, or him, no way they could have got through that. They couldn't even have got past word one. She knew zip, nada, zilch about it. So we were a little sort of perplexed. How is it possible you could, we had to phrase it gently, and she didn't know that we'd bid on it. So we thought we'd just wait and see what she'd say. And then she came out with it. Hey, look, I'm a minority person. I've got some black person in my ethnic makeup, and my sister's a lesbian, and she sort of went off a list of things, and she'd applied for the gig, or the project, not a gig, a project, and had gone through, and basically they just waved her through. Now, she didn't have any funds or money to do so. She also had access to taxpayer-funded loans, and she was quite chuffed, because if she blows all the money, even if she goes off and spends money on an overseas holiday or something like that, or a vacation, she's still not on the hook for the money. So the taxpayer is completely funding this absurd racial largesse that makes no sense. Now, there has been a big drive, as we can see now in Britain and other places, where a real drive to give business to give government contracts to black-owned businesses, and to pressure some of the big, the big bureaucratic private organisations also to do the same thing, to artificially support black-owned business purely on the basis that they're black-owned, not that they're providing better goods and services. Now, I've got an obvious problem with that, because it's not delivering any value for the taxpayer by any measure. So anyway, she says she only got the thing because she ticked the victim boxes. I don't know how many of that box ticking was genuine, by the way, but nonetheless, she's got the business. They just waved her on through, and they must have made the decision at the beginning of awarding the contract that it has to go to somebody who ticks the minority boxes. We don't give a shit that they don't know what they're doing. We're just going to give it to them as a gift. So sure enough, she gets the sure enough, she gets the project. Now she wants us to do the work because at her own admission, she doesn't know anything. Her own admission, she can't even start with word one. So she's got to then subcontract to someone else. Now, out of interest, she said, how much money do you want for this? And so we said the price that we'd quoted the Quango, in the bid process. So we said that merely because we wanted to test whether she had undercut us or how much she'd gone in too low. She hadn't gone in too low. She'd gone way over top. The soon as we mentioned the numbers, and which were decently profitable for us, she went, yep, okay, done. Which means that she has to be quite, well above it. No one agrees and that quickly if they haven't got a lot of padding in their pricing. So here we've got someone that meets none of the criteria, is, as we understand it, at least 25% above the price we'd quoted, and is only in business from borrowed money, which she doesn't have to pay back if things go wrong. So here's the problem I've got with this, is that the bidding process was hopelessly corrupted by racial politics, and they should have stated that. They should have stated up front, hey, this is only going to go to black lesbians. That's it, end of story. Technically, that's illegal, but it seems to be happening everywhere, and the government and none of the Department of Prosecutions, none of the Labour Relations government, nobody is pursuing this in the courts. The racial hiring and appointing winners through an open tender and bidding process, that's super racialized. Maybe not in every instance, but certainly in plenty of them. Or the companies that are winning it are ones that are agreeing to bring out lots of black lesbians from Africa or something like that as fake immigrants. So my concern is this, that firstly, an incompetent organisation, the corruption of the bidding process. That's concern number one. Concern number two is a completely incompetent organisation has been awarded the contract purely along racial lines, and third is that there's no concern of value for money. It's all ideological. So this woman these two people, they're able to extract 25% above. It's at least that 25% above what the market price would be for doing that sort of work. We weren't lowballing on the price, so for that sort of work, you'd expect to pay $100, for example, but they're charging 125, 130, whatever, and there's no vetting of that. So that's the taxpayer is paying handsomely through the front end and the back end through this insane racial politicking. Now the other side is that I followed up on all the businesses that the government had subsidised just on a year ago, and with taxpayer money, also giving them free spots in trade show. I mean, some of these trade show stands, they're like $5,000 or something, and that's all paid for. Yep, okay, there you go, that's free. But these people couldn't do that without everything's being arranged for them, and they're getting special positions and this sort of stuff. And again, all paid for by the taxpayer. And if you want to have a successful business, at least for mine, I want to see signs that the people who are working in the business have got a real go-getter attitude. They get up in the morning and they're going to be successful and they're going to work hard. And they say, you don't see that with any of these people. They could just as easily be public servants working in the post office or something. They really don't seem to give a shit. Now, so I go back some months later to look at these businesses. All of them are out of business. None of them are in business, with the exception of the health food dudes that have got that government purchasing supply contract. They're the only ones who are still around. So all that money is being pissed up against the wall. Now, if you look at businesses that are started up by straight white guys who have clear and unambiguous expertise in that area, the failure rate is still high, by the way, but the success rate compared to these minorities that are being artificially pushed forward, the success rate of the straight white guys is way ahead. So if you're looking at investing taxpayer money in successful business that's going to pay taxes, that's going to hire people, that's going to develop products or services for export and all that sort of stuff. You throw every penny in the straight white guys, or you'd say to the black guys, look, we're happy to entertain you, we're happy to come in and see you, we're happy to help you be successful, but you have to have the right attitude, as in the go-getter, I want to be successful attitude, and you have to have a great idea and be committed to that being successful. If you haven't got that, we're not going to fund you. If you've got that, we will help you. We'll even give you more help than we would give the straight white guys, but we're not going to subsidise or support or throw our taxpaying money at something purely on the basis of ideological racial politics, which is what's happening at the moment. And it's an insane waste of money from every imaginable perspective. You've been with Tacitus today in your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.